Dear friends, welcome to another episode of the Spokemaster. In this video, we will discuss the increasing number of incidents involving drones flying over defense industries and NATO military bases in Europe, events that the alliance attributes to Russia, and what they call preparations for conflict expansion. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Imagine a scenario where highly secure military installations are repeatedly overflown by unidentified drones. That is exactly what happened in Germany, more specifically in Bavaria, with these events occurring at three main moments. First, in Mosching on December 18, 2024, when three drones were spotted flying over a test field used by the Bundeswehr. But this isn't just any field. It's where military aircraft undergo rigorous testing before being incorporated. Just a few days later, on December 19th and 25th, drones were sighted in Neuburg, where the 74th Tactical Wing of the German Air Force operates. To cap off this series of incidents, in January 2025, a swarm of 10 drones flew over Mosching again. These incidents draw attention due to their frequency and the choice of targets. Critical bases with very specific and vital functions for Germany's military security, raising an inevitable question: who is behind this and why? To understand the impact of these events, we need to analyze the larger geopolitical scenario. Since the start of the war in Ukraine, relations between Russia and Western countries, especially NATO members, have been at their most critical since the Cold War. Germany, as one of the main supporters of Ukraine both militarily and economically, is on the front line of this tension. Drones have been an essential tool in this conflict, with both sides using these aircraft for espionage, reconnaissance, and even precision strikes. Therefore, the appearance of drones over NATO bases immediately raises suspicions of Russian espionage. But what would be the goal? To gather information on armaments, or just to demonstrate the capability to penetrate such secure zones? The answer so far is nebulous, but the implications are enormous. Given the gravity of the situation, German authorities haven't stood still, with the Bavarian State Police in collaboration with the Munich Public Prosecutor's Office launching a comprehensive investigation to identify who is operating these drones and whether there's a direct connection to the Russian government or other agents. However, sources close to the German Ministry of Defense have already made it clear that Russia is involved. They just don't know the extent and depth yet. In parallel, the German government has proposed changes to aviation security laws, which, if approved, would allow the armed forces to shoot down suspicious drones. These measures include using ground-based air defense systems and even authorizing fighters to use guided missiles against these targets. Moreover, new sensors and tracking systems are being considered to strengthen defenses. These initiatives show that Germany is taking this matter very seriously, but they also reflect how challenging it is to deal with asymmetric threats like drones, which are relatively cheap, flexible, and hard to intercept. Drones are a clear example of how technology is transforming modern conflicts. Small, agile, and affordable, they are used for tasks ranging from simple surveillance missions to very sophisticated attacks. To make it even more difficult, many drones are designed to avoid radar detection, can be equipped with high-resolution cameras, thermal sensors, and communication tools, thus collecting detailed information in real time. Their relatively low cost allows for use in swarms, making them even harder to neutralize. These characteristics make drones an attractive tool for both state and non-state actors, but also pose a gigantic challenge to traditional security. If the connection with Russia is officially proven, these incidents will not just be an internal matter for Germany, but a problem for all of NATO. Article 5 of the Alliance's treaty is clear. An attack on one member is an attack on all members. But what does this mean in practice? NATO is an alliance composed of 32 countries, each with different political priorities and capabilities. Thus, aligning all members in a cohesive response during a crisis like this is a monumental challenge. The first reaction typically involves formal condemnations and consultations among members, a way to show unity without immediately escalating to confrontation. In a second phase, NATO might choose to strengthen its military presence in the affected regions, involving the deployment of additional troops, increased air patrols, and even the installation of anti-missile defense systems. But in a scenario where Russian involvement is confirmed, tougher measures might be adopted, including economic sanctions and, in extreme cases, limited military operations. One of the biggest challenges is balancing the response, as reacting too mildly might send a message of weakness, while an overly aggressive response could escalate into a much broader conflict. Moreover, these incidents test NATO's capability to operate as a cohesive political and military unit. These events also remind us that NATO is not just a military alliance, but also a political entity where each country's interests must be considered, weighed, and evaluated before a joint response. How Germany will lead this response and how other members will react to the increasing sophistication of threats. This is a moment that reminds us that the boundaries of security are changing, with technologies like drones challenging traditional paradigms and demanding innovative responses. More than that, these events highlight the interconnection between local conflicts and global security. Germany, NATO, and the world are at a critical point, raising an important question. How will they respond to Russia? And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates.